Congrats, Henry. Oh, you got the bonus?
I don't know.
Oh, no, I don't. That's not my job. I don't know. Maybe the UFC can tell you that. I was just saying congrats on the win. First win in almost 2 years, first finish in over 4 years. Considering all of that, would you say this is the best performance of your MMA career?
Can you guys hear me? Do I need the mic?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. I'm evolving, Ariel. Like, even when I fought Demetrius, I was only in MMA for exactly 3 years. And I'm still growing as a fighter. I never did amateurs as a mixed martial artist. I went straight pro. And I was kind of in the fast lane a little bit. But I'm slowly improving. And like people say, and Joseph would always say, like, Henry's an athlete. And he's right. I'm an athlete. I can do a lot of things that maybe your typical wrestler can't.
Obviously now, I mean, the division is a little bit in flux. It seems like they may do the Ray Borg fight in a month or so. You were supposed to fight Sergio in May. Is that the fight that makes the most sense to try to get back into the title picture for you?
Yeah, I like that fight. But like I told you guys before, I'm fighting people accordingly. I can do karate, I can box, and let's not forget about my wrestling. But I know he's one guy that wants me, and so do I. I just got to sit down with my team, and I don't make decisions on my own. But yeah, absolutely. I want to fight the best guys out there.
What did you say to DJ after the fight? Did you say anything to him?
No, it was more like an approval. You know what I'm saying? Like, am I getting better?
Okay.
Like, that's all. Like, and I want to say this in front of everybody. It's like I mean no disrespect to the champ. Like, he's there for a reason. I know he was with his wife and his father-in-law, and I don't want to be a disrespectful fighter like that. But I do want to fight him.
And just curious, what was your reaction when you found out about Ray Borg pulling out 48 hours before?
At first, I was a little upset, just because, again, our division. This is big for our division, maybe I thought it was like a weight thing, possibly, but you know, the matchmakers, they talked to me and said, no, it's legit. The dude was actually like really ill, and looking to postpone that fight, like you said, within a month or so. But you know, we need fights like that. We need knockouts in the flyweight division. And, you know, that's what I displayed tonight. I know even with my last fight with Benavidez, man, we're going out there. I'm trying to give it my all, man, to, you know, fight as technical as I can and you know, use my brute strength to, you know, to put these guys to sleep.
Hey, Henry, over here to your left. You tweeted after the fact that you had an injury going into your last fight and you kind of want to make up for it by getting a knockout. What exactly happened before the last fight that you were going in there not at 100%?
Yeah, no, it was a typical hand injury. I hurt my right hand, and I still try to fight Sergio like that. And you know, I should have just pulled out since the beginning. You know, the wrestler in me, coming from that mentality, you know, you just suck it up and you just do it. You just go. And my hand just didn't get any better. And once the doctor, the UFC official saw it, we got the X-rays. They just said, hey, man, you can fight, but your hand may not be the same after this. And I had thought twice, and we just decided to pull out.
So did you mean now that your hand's feeling healthy, you want to show that you can knock people out with them? Was that kind of the meaning of that tweet?
Yeah. I mean, I hit hard, man. I'm a little tank. And I think now I'm kind of understanding a little more distance, timing. I owe a lot of this credit to my boxing coach, Alan Santino, all my coaches who stress that distance. It's okay, Henry. You don't have to get in there and fight like you always fight. Get in there, you know, take your time. You're fast, you're explosive, and you know, catch and coming in.
And we've seen a pretty incredible progression from you over these past 2 fights. Mm-hmm. Do you feel like you're ready for that Demetrius rematch right now, or do you kind of want to see where you're at even a year from now and, you know, continue this improvement?
Yeah, again, man, I have to be honest. I have to sit down and actually talk to my coaches and see what they think. Emotionally, I do want to fight him right away. Technically, am I going to be ready for this guy? Because I just don't want to fight Demetrius. I want to beat him. And you know, he's been on my mind since he beat me. I'm a competitor, man. For me to get stopped in front of 20,000 people, that shit hurts, you know. And I think about it a lot. And he's a guy. There's a reason why he's a pound for pound best fighter in the world, and that's who I have to beat. Not just fight, beat.
Would you call this the best performance of your career tonight?
Yeah, I think so. I think you know, I'm just adapting to mixed martial arts more. Like even when Wilson got to my legs, I was composed. Like I knew who was gonna feel my pressure. Like anybody that tries to shoot into my legs, I felt him try to take me down when he couldn't take me down. I knew that exhausted him because I saw it in his facial expression. But there's another level of wrestling, and I'm gonna use my wrestling when I have to. And mark my words, that's where I'm the biggest threat. It's not even my striking; it's my wrestling, and I can control people. So whoever's out there that can outstrike me, I'm gonna out wrestle you. So I'm gonna keep that in my back pocket. So let it be known. Don't forget.
Hey, Henry, right in front of you. UFC PR just told me that you won Performance of the Night, so congratulations on that.
Yeah! Finally, God! I thought me and Joseph deserved it that last fight. I was a little. I remember talking to Dana White that night because he called me the next day, and he told me what he felt, who won, and I was like, Dana, it's okay, man, but why didn't you guys give us the performance, the fight of the night, man? And he just couldn't answer me, man. So I'm glad I finally I finally get a bonus, man.
I mean, are you gonna split it with Joe then? Is that what's gonna happen?
No.
Hey, when you ran over to Demetrius, did you know that you were gonna do that, or is
No. I just saw him. He was cheering for me. That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't want this to come out as a disrespectful thing. Like Demetrius and his family, they're like, oh, like good fight, man. You know what I mean? But through the crowd, it looks a little different. So I apologize to him if he felt like I was disrespecting him in front of his family, because that's not who I am. But I do want to fight him eventually.
Yeah, and you keep saying eventually. When do you think you'll know? Like, how do you gauge that? Like, you keep saying you and your team will discuss it and figure out when the right time is, technically speaking. But like, how do you even go about trying to figure that out?
Well, remember, ask Ariel. Ariel just gave you the facts. I lost my last 2 fights. I haven't won in 2 years. I mean, how do you think I feel? Do I want a title shot? I mean, yeah, but realistically, it's up to the matchmakers. I'm getting better and better and better. I know DJ's up there, and I'll be honest with myself. I got to be there technically at the same level as him before I fight him, because I'll be ready. And this time, I'm not gonna get hit to the body, because he beat me in a gray area. He beat me in an area where I thought I was gonna be better than him, and nope. Makes the body shots are mean.
Is there like any doubt in your mind that whenever you get to that point that anyone will defeat him in the meantime, or are you just in your head you're just sure that he'll be there?
I'm the one. I know I'm the one. I have the style. I have the wrestling. I know I'm the one to beat Demetrius Johnson. And no disrespect to all these other fighters, no disrespect to any of them, because anybody has that fighter's chance, but I still believe I have the style to eventually beat him, and I truly do believe that.
Nice. Congrats.
Thank you. See ya. 50 G's, baby.
Rafa, vou perguntar em português primeiro. Primeiro de tudo, não sei se você já sabe, mas você recebeu o bônus de performance. E eu queria saber se você achava que a luta ia ser assim tão rápido quando você estava lá dentro.
Não, eu estava preparado para lutar os 3 rounds, especialmente que o Neil é um cara que aguenta muita pancada. Já teve várias vezes perto de acabar a luta e ele se recuperar. E eu estava esperando para fazer os 3 rounds, mas a tática era chutar bem as pernas, porque ele tem as pernas finas por ser alto. Mas no primeiro chute ele já caiu, eu já aproveitei bem a posição ali. E quando eu já caí por cima, eu vi que eu estava com um controle bom. Mas é aquilo, a luta, a gente vai para lutar 3 rounds, mas tendo a oportunidade a gente finaliza.
E só para encerrar, você pediu pela luta do cinturão, você dá a entender que você gostaria de enfrentar o cinturão, né, na sequência, né? Você acha que você consegue agora? O que você acha? Como é que vai ser?
Eu acho que depois da luta com o Tarek Safedine, o Shelby já me ligou e já me deixou sobre aviso se o Demian Maia não aceitasse a luta. Eu acho que a divisão está aberta. Rolaria a luta do Saint-Pierre com o Woodley, mas pelo resultado com o Demian, o Danão não ficou satisfeito com a luta e não vai colocar, vai lutar com o Michael Bisping. Eu acho que a divisão está bem aberta agora. Todos os caras que estão ali no top 5 ou perderam para o Demian ou para o Woodley. Eu acho que eu estou chegando aí, sangue fresco, e já estava para lutar, já estava me preparando, mas o Demian pegou a luta e agora eu consegui uma vitória boa em cima do Magny hoje. Eu acho que tem grandes chances.
Rafael, congratulations. Do you want to just give us in English some of the stuff you said there, just so we don't have to ask you the same questions probably?
Yeah, she asked me what do I think about who if I have chance for the title right now, and I said that the division is wide open. All the top 5, top 6 guys on this division have lost to the champion or for the last challenger, which was Damian Maia. Thompson lost twice for Woodley already, and I'm a new blood on this division. I was getting ready to fight Woodley if Maia didn't take the fight, but he ended up taking the fight, but I was getting ready for it. And so here I am. I'm coming, former lightweight champion, looking forward to be 2-division champion.
Other than Woodley, is there one particular name that stands out to you?
No, I know Woodley has an injury right now, but I need some time off too. You know, I fought 3 months ago in Singapore. I just fought now because I was preparing for Woodley, but Maia took the fight. But I don't want to lose what I was training already. So I called Shelby. I say, hey, I want to fight. You know, if you have somebody, and then the opportunity with Neil Magny came up, but we'll see. We'll see. I think it's kind of too soon, but my goal is fight for the title.
Well, in your head, you said that you would like to take a little bit of break because you have had a busy year. I mean, in your mind, do you have a time frame about when you would want to come back?
Yeah, no, I have a trip with my family for September 21st. We're gonna go do some Europe trip for 2-3 weeks, and I had 2 fights back to back. My kids are on summer vacation. I couldn't do anything with them, and they back to school already. And I want to make up that. I want to take them for a nice vacation, and we'll see what happens after that.
Last question: if you were to fight Tyron Woodley, can you just tell us what do you think that fight looks like? How do you think you two match up, and how does it play out?
One thing I can be sure, we're gonna fight. I'm not gonna let him walk around, and I'm gonna make sure I push the pace. And you know, I'm not saying I will not use my strategy. Of course I will, but I walk forward. You know, I have confidence on me, on my cardio, and I'm gonna make him work.
Thank you.
Parabéns.
Obrigado.
If not Tyron Woodley, do you think that Robbie Lawler is the only other guy that makes sense in the division?
Yeah, it could be. You know, it could be. But my goal is I want to get this title, because I was training for it. But we never know. Let's see. I think it's kind of soon to say, but I need to have some time with my family right now, some time off, but we never know.
Did you speak to Tyron? He's working for Fox in LA. Did they do like a conversation between you two?
No. I didn't hear his voice. I knew the reporter told me he was on the studio.
Oh, okay.
But I didn't hear his voice.
Okay. And I know you were a champion not that long ago, but it was always very difficult for you to make 155, and you had some scary moments. Is there a part of you, considering how good you've looked at 170, who says, I wish I would have done this sooner?
Yeah, I think my plan was to gain the title, the lightweight title, defend it once and go up division. Because I was looking for that fight with Robbie Lawler. He was the champ at that time. But the opportunity to fight Eddie Alvarez came up. I was about to fight Conor, and then I broke my foot. And I say, okay, I got to fight one more time on this division. When I lost, it cost my title. And I was struggling so much to make that weight. And I always had a hard time to make weight. But for the last 2 times, I feel that like I'm going to die. And that was a very hard feeling. I don't want to have this feeling anymore.
And this year has been very good for you, 2-0, new division. You're very close to getting a title shot. Last year was, I would imagine, very difficult, right? Mm-hmm. With the Conor situation, losing the belt, you changed teams, management, a lot of things going on. Do you appreciate the good times now more than maybe a couple of years ago when you were a champion because you went through everything that you went through last year?
Sure, the life, it's you learn every time. I learned a lot for the past years. I felt like a tsunami passed over my life, but on my eyes, on the human beings' eyes, we see as with some negative eyes, but God is the one that lead everything. So we see so close, He see ahead. So I think that was good changes. I made good changes.
And just to be 100% clear, if it was up to you, title shot next, right?
For sure.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Hi, I just want to know your thoughts on the fight. And in the first round, it seemed that you had like your finger was out. I don't know how to. Was that like? It seemed like that your corner was trying to put your finger back.
My thoughts on this fight. First of all, I respect the decision of judge, but I don't agree with the decision at all. I think in this fight, 3 rounds. It was mine points. I won these 3 rounds. And in the final 5th rounds, only 1 takedown, and she didn't do nothing, just 1 takedown. And for this takedown, give victory, I don't disagree about this. And even I was on the ground, I was like landing more punches, and she was just holding the position, nothing more.
What about your finger? Did you really hurt it?
Yes, it was dislocated in the first round, but then it was fine, everything fine.
Valentina over here. You may not know the answer to this question because I know it just happened, but in your mind, which rounds do you think you won decisively?
I think after the first round, it was like pretty close. Second, third, and fourth, it was mine. In 5th, all the round, it was mine. In just 1 takedown, I think about this takedown, it judges, they give to other side. But how I said, even this takedown, it was only like control position, and I was landing more punches from being on the ground.
And the takedown came as a result. It seemed like you were trying to go maybe for a headlock or a throw. Can you explain why you went for that at that juncture? You hadn't gone for that, it seemed, throughout the fight.
I remember that in the last round, I did first takedown, like judo throw, and she took my back, but she could not do nothing. She just was sitting on the back. And then I remember in the cage, and it was like last maybe 30 seconds, maybe 40 seconds of the fight, and she was trying like shoot into the leg. And after this takedown, I was on the ground and just like till the end of the round was hitting, landing punches to her face and elbows.
Were you frustrated at all? Do you feel like she should have engaged more?
I'm frustrated with the decision because I don't agree totally. And my opinion, if it will be victory, it should be victory like clear. But in this fight, I see like more tactical and more like you can see on her face, on my face, who landed more punches. I had on my shin like stitches because I was hit her, and I don't know, maybe from her teeth, it was like cutting, bleeding, and this is like, I totally disagree.
Are you happy with your performance?
It's difficult to say right now, but I think totally it's like I won this fight.
Okay, and just one last thing. Do you think your next fight will be at 125?
I want my title, and I'm ready to take like one more fight against Amanda because I don't agree, and I know exactly that it was my fight, and if I have to fight her next, it will be for sure my victory.
You think you'll get that immediate rematch or trilogy fight with her?
Right now it's difficult to say because I think have to pass some time, and UFC has to take decision, but I will ask for rematch.
Valentina, is this one of the more frustrating nights of your career, just the way the result went?
It's like, I agree when it's like totally right. If you lost, you lost. But if you not lost, but the decision go to other side, this is more like when you feel it's not right. It's totally not right. I don't, once again, I respect decision of judges, but I think it was my fight.
Do you think Amanda will be willing to fight you again? Because she said after the first fight that she wanted to fight you again so she could get a more clear victory. Do you think, since the way the fight went tonight, split decision, she'll be willing to give you that third opportunity?
I don't know, but I know exactly that she feel that she didn't want this fight. She didn't do this.
Valentina, overall in the sport, do you think judging is pretty good, or do you think it could improve?
Can you repeat, please?
Just overall for the sport of mixed martial arts in general, is judging pretty good, or do you think it needs to improve?
It's difficult to say in general. Like, I think it's pretty good and everything, but how I say, if we speak about my fight, I think 3 or 5 rounds, I won exactly.
Has that ever been a concern of yours in the past? Because you do like to fight like with your back more against the cage. You know, like Amanda was in the center of the octagon a lot, and some people think that automatically means someone's winning the fight, or a takedown. Even if they don't do something with the takedown, some people think that automatically wins the round. Has it ever been a concern of yours that your style in itself is somewhat difficult to judge?
Even like being in the center, it doesn't mean that you are more exactly shooting or punching or everything. And my punches was landing more frequently than hers. And if you, like just kicking leg, is it like significant strike? No, I don't think so. It's just, for me, it looks like, go away from me, don't come to me. And we are speaking about MMA. MMA, it's like more damage. And if like compare my face, her face, we can see who took more damage. And for me, if like I can throw like 100 kicks or 100 punch just like this, without any power, without nothing, and I think it's not not right to give victory to this person who just doing like, go away from me, don't come to me. And one more time, it doesn't matter if you are, you can be every time in the center of the octagon, in the center of the ring, but without any success landing your punch.
So I guess what I'm asking you is because you know that, but maybe the judges don't know that because of how they scored the fight. Would that change at all, I guess, the way that you would approach a fight, just because it seems like the judges are potentially looking for something different?
MMA, it's not only like who give pressure. It's also like tactical, very tactical fight. And by tactic, if like maybe, I don't know why they took this decision, but exactly I can say that my punches was more effective than her punches. And we can see like videotape and can see exactly who was more like landing more punches or no.
Last question. It doesn't seem so because you said that you respect the decision. You're not planning any type of appeal on something like this?
If I can, I will, because I don't agree totally, I don't. But how I know from my experience, if judges took decision once, it's very difficult to change their mind.
Thank you.
Just had to ask one more. What happened at the end of the fight between you two? She was saying something to you, and when the fight was over, what happened?
I really don't remember exactly, but I don't like her education, and she knew that she was like losing the fight. It's only one takedown. It was like successful to her. That's why I think she was more acting for judges, for public, for all people around, to see that she is more active by speaking. But in this time, while she was speaking something, I was punching her. And this is like, I think this is more real because this is MMA. It's not only speaking. If you speak, you will receive punch. And this is in the final. It was exactly what is happened.
What was she saying to you?
It's difficult to remember in the fight.
Yeah. You said you don't like her education. Do you mean her attitude?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Hi. I know Ari asked this earlier, but just to confirm, in your mind, it was rounds 2, 3, and 4. You felt you won decisively.
Can you repeat, please?
Just to double confirm, it was the second, third, and fourth rounds you felt you'd won it decisively.
Second, third, and fourth, and like more, not half, more than half of fifths. Only like one takedown from her side, and how I say. In the end of after this takedown, she just hold the position. I was landing more punches and elbows to her. It's like no control from this position from her.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So good evening, everyone. My name is David Shaw. I'm the Senior Vice President of International and Content for the UFC. Just want to start off, I guess, a quick thank you, a warm and hearty thank you to Bob Nicholson, to Kevin Lowe, the rest of the Oilers Entertainment Group. This week was very smooth working with these guys, and as you guys can tell, this is definitely one of the best arenas that we've ever been to. So thank you very much to all of those people for helping us make this event a success. A solid night in Edmonton. Gate was 2.03 million USD, 2.46 million Canadian. The attendance was 232 for a sellout here. In terms of the bonuses, fight of the night went to Stevens and Melendez, and performances went to Cejudo and Rafael dos Anjos. Had a few transports with Mitch Clark, Gavin Tucker, and Gil Melendez. Open it up now, I guess, for questions to the group.
And
Yeah,
since you mentioned Gavin was transported, obviously, a ton of criticism of the non-stoppage by the referee in that fight. Can you just speak to it? Because I think a lot of people were worried about this commission, given the recent death of Tim Hague. Just what did you think about that? Was there any talks with the commission afterwards just about that, the referee's job in that fight?
Yeah, I had a chance to chat with Mark Ratner briefly about it. I think his position was that it might have been a bit late as well. I think he shared the same thoughts as maybe you're insinuating. So I guess, from our perspective, the commission's got a job to do. It sounds like they did their job. I don't know if we saw that referee again over the course of the evening. Gavin was a warrior, though. I mean, even in that last 10 seconds, you saw him sort of pounding his chin, and I guess projecting his strength. But he definitely took a beating.
Yeah, and it seems like largely the rest of the night was okay. But is there any concerns about maybe seeing some improvement from this commission before coming back to this market again?
I think, by and large, I talked to Mark as well. I mean, he's the best guy to provide that perspective. And he was very happy with the way that the week went. I think, as I mentioned to you earlier in the week, we've had discussions with them for quite some time. And so I think there's a relationship there between Reed and Ratner. So, I think in terms of whether or not we're going to come back and have another show in Edmonton, we'd love to, for a variety of reasons. But I think, from the perspective of the commission working closely with Mark and the rest of his team, I think, it's our view that they did a good job with us this week.
And you just announced a sellout. Is it safe to assume then that there wasn't many refunds after the Demetrius Johnson-Ray Borg fight was called off?
There was an inflow of refunds, I guess, yesterday morning. The nice thing was, I guess, due to the success of some of the events that we had this week, we had a large number of sales over the last 2 days, especially today, exceeding the number of refunds. So yes, there were refunds, but we had sales to overcome those.
Awesome. And last thing, I don't know if you're aware of this or if you saw it, but it looks like a fan jumped the barrier and rushed the octagon, and I think it was the 5th round in the main event.
Yeah.
Do you have any idea what happened there?
No, I didn't see that. On which side?
It was on this side, closest to us on press row, so by the walkout area. Okay.
Didn't see that.
Cool.
I just had 2 quick ones. I'm just always curious about the refund thought process, and it didn't seem, obviously it was sold out. Do you have a number, like, is it 50 people, is it 10 people? How many people actually take that offer?
I think in this case, I don't know what the total number was. It was under 1,000. I think it was more than 100. It was a few hundred most likely. No one was really concerned. I mean, you're always, a little worried. You don't want there to be a rush on people, getting rid of their tickets, especially in the last 48 hours before a fight. But I think that generally, it's the first time in this market, and this is a very sort of rich, very deep sports city. I mean, look at the celebration of sports that were going on tonight between our event and the Stampeders and the Eskimos. I'm not sure what their ticket number was, but I think overall the total number of tickets sold in the city tonight was a fairly large figure. So for us, there was no real massive concern, but we were very conscious of of whether or not tickets were going to come back in. But thankfully, I think there was enough publicity and enough sort of attraction to the event that people bought tickets on the way through.
And also wondering, because it was such a great success for not only the company but the arena and the city, first time, is there a date or a time frame in place for the return? It seems like everyone really enjoyed working together.
Yeah.
Have there been any talks this week of that?
I mean, there's the kind of whimsical would love to be back.
Okay.
There's no date set in stone. We are in Winnipeg, in Manitoba, in mid-December for an FBC fight. We plan to have 3 events in Canada next year, probably the same formats as this year, a pay-per-view and maybe an FBC and a fight night. Don't know when we're going to come back to Alberta. I think we'd love to. I mean, it's always on the radar. Ever since 149, it's been on the radar for Calgary. Things just haven't aligned properly to get back there. Tom Wright had always had chats with Bob Nicholson about coming here. We've been speaking to him for many months. It made a lot of sense. There's no doubt in my mind that we'll be back. I just don't know. We just don't, have a time frame yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
And last quick one. It might be a little early, but I'm wondering if, just from a Canadian perspective, you've noticed maybe a reignition of the market with the return of GSP. Maybe that happens only when he returns, but have you noticed at all a greater interest in the product because he is soon to return?
Yeah, I mean, we've got, people kind of clamoring for information about, when are the media days going to be and when's he going to fight and what kind of access they can get. There's no doubt in my mind that having George back will be, I guess, a shot in the arm for the Canadian business. He's always been a fantastic ambassador of not only our sport and our brand, but I think Canadian athletics in general. I mean, how many years in a row did he win that Rogers Sportsnet of the Year, Athlete of the Year award? So for us, we're excited. It's very nice. We went through the process with the Mayweather-McGregor fight and speaking to all our pay-per-view partners. And while they were exceptionally excited for the Mayweather-McGregor event, they always wanted to talk about George. So there's no doubt that everyone's looking forward to that. Hopefully it's sort of, the kind of catalytic event that brings, our fans together. That type of event that helps, MMA gyms flourish, people get more interested in the sport. We sort of need to make sure that at a grassroots level, we're always doing whatever we can to make sure that the sport is growing. So there's no doubt that, it's going to be a great event having him back. I mean, even tonight we had practically had half of the Oilers. We had the first 3 lines of the Oilers in Dana's section. And those guys, I mean, I must have been asked 2 or 3 times about that fight, so they're looking forward to that as well. Yes, sir.
I guess in terms of balancing the demand for UFC in Western Canada, I guess for you guys, is it a challenge, I guess, figuring out when to go to Vancouver, Edmonton, or Calgary next, specifically in terms of their proximity to each other and the ability and, like, I imagine, the propensity of fans to travel from one market to the other depending on who gets a show?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things that go into the decision, go into the formula of which city we go to at which time and which fighters we have to compete on those cards. We've been lucky to have very strong events in all of the cities that you mentioned. For us, we know that there are a lot of fans that do travel to the events, but we also know that there's a very sort of deep base of MMA fans in all of those regions. So, I don't really know. We don't have a strict formula yet for what city is going to come. We want to make sure we're taking our sport, from Western Canada, from BC all the way to Atlantic Canada and Eastern Canada, and everywhere in between as often as we can. The challenge is we've got 3 events in Canada likely next year, and we just can't be everywhere all the time. So we'll continue to look at markets we haven't been to in a while and make some decisions likely in the next few months. Thanks, everybody.
Yeah, for sure.
Mandinha, aqui, vamos começar com o Brasil, né? Vamos começar com de casa. Guys, I'll just ask in Portuguese first. I think she will answer in Portuguese and in English, and I'll translate the question also. Amanda, o que significa a Amanda depois dessa luta? Assim, o que é a campeã depois de uma luta de 5 rounds, que foi estratégica, que foi definida? O que você apresentou para o mundo agora? What Amanda showed to the world as a champion, fighting 5 rounds, technically and strategically, like tonight she showed.
Eu mostrei que eu venho evoluindo, né, como atleta, e era essa a questão, né? Todo mundo estava falando e estavam me perguntando também. E 5 rounds, no terceiro já cansou. Então eu fui questionada bastante com isso. Eu já estava até ficando chateada, porque o atleta vai evoluindo, entendeu? E tem que esperar com paciência, né? Então essa noite foi a noite para mim, entendeu? E mostrar para o mundo, parar com essa história de que o atleta não só porque uma luta atrás não conseguiu chegar bem nos 3, por que não pode chegar bem nos 5? Eu acho que os fãs têm que parar com essa coisa, né, de ficar pressionando o atleta dessa forma, entendeu? E deixar o atleta evoluir e ver o atleta na próxima luta para depois ter uma coisa concreta. Mas hoje eu acho que acabou tudo isso e eu estou muito feliz.
Can you answer the same in English?
Yeah, you know, a lot of people talk about my last fight against Valentino was 3-minute rounds, and then I got tied in the 30, all those things. But people have to understand it. The fight evolve. The fight evolve. You know, I'm always go back to the gym. You wanna do better and better. Go back to the gym, learning new things. You know, and tonight was 5 rounds that I wanna show for people. No knockout, no submission. 5 rounds. This was my strategy tonight.
Amanda, você chegou mancando. Como é que tá o seu pé? Você lesionou? Tá só machucado?
Nos 2 primeiros rounds que eu chutei e tudo, aí eu machuquei um pouco, mas não é nada sério, não. É normal, no treino eu também me lesiono assim, dessa forma. É só mesmo superficial. É botar um gelinho, uma massagem, tudo vai ficar tranquilo. In the first 2 rounds, I kicked her, and then I caught her knee, and then I got a little bit hurt, and then I'll be able to do that much in the fight. And I save a lot of energy, make her do all the work. This was the strategy, you know, make her miss, make her do all the work, and then wait for the best moment to change the rounds. Was with my takedowns at the end, and with a little bit strike and kicks to make her keep like punching and keep her like moving and get her tired. And I not be able to do that much because I hurt my foot, and I still like try to, of course, knock her out. But my big thing tonight was go to 5 rounds, show the world I'm ready, I'm the champion, I'm here to stay.
E só para finalizar, quais rounds você acha que você ganhou?
Honestly, eu dominei eu dominei a luta, entendeu? Ela contra-golpeou, mas assim não foi uma coisa que conectou bem, tipo, não me deixou assim. Ela conectou, entendeu? Mas eu dominei, eu conectei alguns também, principalmente meus chutes. E eu dominei os 5 rounds. E depois eu consegui as quedas e ela também tentou dar uma queda, eu já saí nas costas e tudo isso. Então, assim, fui inteligente hoje à noite.
Over here. So after the official decision was read, there was some booing in the crowd. Do you even care about that at this point, or are you just happy with the win?
Não, acho que... No, sorry, I speak Portuguese.
No problem.
This is normal, you know. I know the crowd want to see knockout, but this is not a fight for the crowd, you know. I want to make this fight for the crowd, but tonight, this fight was for me. To go to 5 rounds, you know, prove I'm the best, you know. I'm here to stay. I'm here for a reason. And this fight was for me tonight. And I want to go to 5 rounds to see if I've been proven in this whole camp, you know. And then I did everything that I'm supposed to do.
Right, thank you very
and the
much.
crown, like, it's normal, you know. We never can be able to make everybody happy.
Hi, you mentioned that you hurt your foot. Was it an injury you had coming into the fight, or did you injure it during the fight?
Yeah, definitely. I like to kick a lot. In training, this is my main thing, kick, and then, of course, I hurt. But I was be able to, like, at least, like, throw a couple kicks, make her away from me. But my foot is hurt for my training, you know, elbow. Like, I went through this fight with a couple injuries, but I always be able to get this done.
Was there any point during the fight where the foot started to bother you and you couldn't execute the way you wanted to, or did it impact your game at all?
Definitely bothered me. I have to control more than I supposed to, and it bothered me in the second round, and then I have to move it forward, and then I still kick with the same foot, but no, like with very, very good strength, and you know, like I have to keep the pace, like I know I don't have my foot 100%, but it was very good. I did the right thing.
Are you able to say which foot it was?
My right foot. Thank you.
Hey man, well, congratulations.
Thank you.
I'm wondering if at all what's going on in Florida had weighed on you at all this week. Was it tough to not be distracted by that?
Actually, was tough, because I buy my new house and my new car, all those things, you work so hard to get, and then I'm here, I can't do anything about it, only Nina's family is there, went there, help with everything, and a couple friends as well, Alex Chambers over there as well, helping. And definitely bothered me the whole week, and I walk in the cage, my heart was there. And I fight with my soul. I know my dog is always inside the house, and then you never know what happened, But I have to put it aside, This is my job. I have to keep defending this belt, and then I know I have a mission tonight, and this thing work a lot because I have to be able to separate things in my brain. When I have a tough moment, I still have to do my thing, go through. And then tonight was important. That's why I tell you, was to show 5 rounds, and I'm ready. And at the same time, I was to think over there as well, and I always be able to control.
What are your plans right now? Because obviously you won't be flying back to Florida, tomorrow. What are your immediate plans in terms of where you'll go?
Nina have fight coming up, and then we have to keep, training. We're gonna go to Vegas, stay there for 1 week until everything is better there, and then we're gonna train in the Performance Institute and in another gym there, and it's going to stay there for a little bit, enjoy Vegas a little bit, and then train at the same time. And more important now is Nina's fight.
And then my last question, Nina had mentioned to me that before the fight that do you now plan on getting surgery for your sinus infection?
This is the first thing. I still very bad. I still very congested, but I have to, go push this fight. I can't hear this girl anymore. The doctor suggests you have to do the surgery. You can fight like that. Let me do it. Make me at least 50%. I can step in the cage, and I don't want to hear this girl anymore. I want to shut this girl up. And he tried to help me do everything that's possible, and then he getting me almost 100%. But I think the thing happened with me when I travel, the altitude get everything back, and I have to do the surgery. Now the first thing when I back home, I'm gonna do it for sure.
Does that eliminate you for the rest of the year, or could we still see you at some point?
Huh?
Does that mean you won't fight again the rest of the year, or could we see you in December?
Probably no. I think I'm gonna take some time off, especially because this is a breathe. I have to take care of that. Sometimes I not be able to sleep at night, and I have to take care of this and move forward for sure. But I think I'm going to take a break, and the next year we will come back.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
You said you don't want to hear Valentina anymore, and I'm wondering, is that why you wore headphones at the weigh-ins yesterday?
Yes.
To block her out? You wanted to send her a message?
No, actually, I don't have anything personal against Valentina, but I think she changed a lot her personality. I think she was in one interview, she said things, the other one she was completely the other way. And then for this fight, she started to be a little bit humble. I don't understand. It was a mess. And then the only thing, I don't want to hear this girl anything. I want this girl shut up and then get her, her life together, and then do the thing. We don't need to hate each other. I don't hate her. This is a job. But I don't want to say anything to her. It was awesome. She's pretty tough. I know she's gonna go back and then beat a lot of girls in this division, and because her style is very hard to figure out. That's why I have to train, be smart. Because if you don't know, you getting lost. Like it happened with me our last fight. In the third round, I get lost. I not be able to get in the time, but this time I was sharp, you know, and make sure it was on point, and my strategy like was like my coach is the best, you know. Like I think everything that happened with me tonight was because them, and I'm very glad that I did everything right.
I think you may have answered this question in Portuguese, but which rounds do you think you won for sure?
I think I dominated this fight.
All 5 rounds?
I think maybe the fourth she get a little bit, but I think like it was by unanimous decision.
Okay. Yeah, but do you think you won?
I think she won the fourth.
Okay, so you won the other 4.
Yeah, I have to watch again
Okay,
because I'm not sure, but yeah, I controlled the whole time and then get the takedowns. I was in advantage the whole time. Of course, she like couple times she was be able to attack, but nothing was like so clear, you know, to make me like at least like back up a little bit. I was the whole time there, you know, waiting for my moment.
She's very adamant about wanting a 3rd fight. Are you interested in that at all?
We'll see, you know. We'll see how the division is going now to see, and we discuss this later.
Okay, and what happened at the end? What did you say to her at the end of the fight?
When my coach say like 10 seconds, and they were 10 seconds, let's go.
Oh.
Then we start, but I don't say anything bad.
Okay.
And I know if I did that, we're gonna be like for the fans, like going crazy. But it was awesome.
Okay, and last one for me. Just looking at the rankings, and especially because Sarah McMahon lost, it seems like Raquel Pennington is next. Do you agree with that? And are you interested in fighting her?
I didn't even know. I'm gonna look the rank, and I will see who the next, you know. But I'm not sure.
Okay.
Thank you. That's it? Awesome. Thank you, guys.